The temple town, Ayodhya, is being prepared for 22nd of January when devotees will start arriving for the grand ceremony and socio-religious debate in India, which has been spread over decades. The temple movement was based on a premise of an archaeological study affirming the existence of a significant pre-existing temple beneath the contested structure. Someone who was part of that study was Dr. K.K. Mohammed, who in 1978 as an archaeology student visited Ayodhya for a survey. We'll get his interview shortly. Also a special report from Ayodhya coming up, and the singer who was lauded by the Prime Minister for his composition on Lord Ram. Joining me first on the show, Indian archaeologist K.K. Mohammed, who was part of the first excavation. Dr. Mohammed, I appreciate your time. As 22nd of January approaches, many say that you have played a role and that you should be thanked for what you did.
No, it is not like that. There is no need of being, thankful to me. The only thing is, whatever was the truth, that I have made it very clear. That was my contribution. Nothing more than that. And I should have done it because, I am an archaeologist. And more so, I should have done it because, I was the only Muslim who had participated in the excavation, and I have seen the temple remains. So it was my moral duty to speak the truth, and which I have done it. So there is no need of being thankful to me for speaking the truth.
And Dr. Mohammed, would you say that it all begins with what you did that day? And were you at any point during the period of excavation in some kind of confusion, whether your findings did create some kind of confusion in your mind?
No, we are not at all in confusion. Whatever we had seen, we have said it. But in 1976 and 77, when I started the excavation under Professor B.B. Lal, because then it was he who was the director of excavation, and it was he who had supposed to speak also. So at that time, it was not a very big issue. So, many things, at that time, because he did not want to provoke the people by divulging certain things. So that was the stand at that time, and it was 76, 77. So, but it became a problem right from 1988 onwards. And for the first time in 1990, the communist historians, led mostly by JNU historians, Delhi University historians, and the Aligarh University historians, they came with a very false report. They said that the site has been excavated by Professor B.B. Lal, and he has found nothing associated with the temples, and there is no need of handing over the site to Hindu community, which was totally a false statement. It was not so. Number one, we had got a number of things associated with the temple. We had got this one, the pillars were there on which Purna Kalasha was engraved, and Purna Kalasha is a symbol of prosperity in Hinduism. And then the pillar bases were excavated. A number of antiquities associated with the temples were excavated. It was on the basis of that at that time. He had come to the Lal had come to the conclusion that there was a temple. But he did not want to provoke the people. But what these people had said is, he has not found anything associated with the temple.
Dr. Mohammed, you were a government employee, and you took a stand against powerful scholars of that time. Many would say that you took a politically incorrect decision.
Exactly, it was a politically incorrect decision. I do admit it. I was a government servant. It is against the conduct rules. And a government servant, before making any kind of statement like this, and on such a very sensitive issue, he should have taken the permission. And I am sure, the government would not have given me the permission, even if I had sought for it. So, and my probation period was also not over. If the probation period is not over and the government servant is making such a statement, then he could be dismissed from the service without being issued by a show cause notice. So I was in a very pathetic condition at that time. But still there was a call of my duty towards my nation, and I issued the statement. Of course, I was in a very perilous condition also for some time. The Secretary of Culture, Dr. Mr. R.C. Tripathi, he had come to Madras and he told me that I'm going to suspend you right now. How did you make such a statement? So I said, sir, I had no bad intention behind the statement. It was a factual statement, number one. And then whatever I had said, that was for the interest of the whole country and for the interest of the mankind. And then I simply quoted this one quotation from Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Samgrahame Vapi Sambhashyan Kartumarhasi. Whatever you do it for the betterment of the world, for the welfare of the world. That was my statement, which further provoked him. He said, no, I am a Brahmin from Allahabad. You are teaching me Sanskrit. So I am going to suspend you right now. Again, he repeated the word. So then I again quoted another sentence. I said, Swadharme Nidanam Shreya. I had done my duty, sir, and for which even death is also most welcome. So he was completely blown off his feet by this sentence.
Dr. Mohammed, how many times did you actually visit Ayodhya? Did you hold yourself back when you saw what you were able to see during excavation? Tell us about your entire journey.
So we were there for 2 months. And we were, staying just by the side of the controversial mosque also, just by the side of the controversial mosque. And every day the Aarti was going on at that time. Aarti and Puja was going on. We were sleeping along with the Aarti and Puja, and we were waking up also along with the Aarti and Puja. So it was a kind of a religious, fervor was there at that time. So every day, for 2 months, we were there continuously for this commission. And at that time, there was nothing like, we were not looking for the remains of Ram Janam Bhoomi. Professor B.B. Lal, it was he who was leading the excavation. He just wanted to see the antiquity of the whole thing, that is Ramayana site. Because earlier he had excavated the great Hastinapura, he had excavated Kurukshetra, he had excavated many of the sites associated with Mahabharata. And now he wanted to excavate Ramayana site. So it was with that intention, but not with the purpose of looking for a temple remains and making it a problem. He wanted, even after getting the evidences also, he did not make it, he did not underline it. He just wanted to keep it as an academic thought and an academic discussion. But it was this one communist historian who had gone to the bazaar along, they started, saying, making this kind of false reports. So at that time, if they are making false reports, then he has to put things in the right context. That is what he had done. And I came accidentally in his support, while others, did not come forward that way.
Okay. My last question to you, do you think India can and should move beyond Ayodhya post 22nd of January, post that day?
Yes, of course, we have to move beyond, because this was only a problem. Some more problems, 2 more problems are there. And Muslims should make exemplary conduct of themselves. And certain things, because in the historical, when the Muslims came, certain things had happened. Many of the temples have been destroyed, massacred people like anything. This had happened during the past. But the present day Muslims are not responsible for that one. But I hold the present Muslims responsible the moment they try to defend those barbaric activities of the 12th century, 13th century, and other things. So, but at the same time, as a country, if we want to move forward, we have to forget this division of all kinds of things, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or this one is Brahman, Kshatriya, and all these things. We have to forget all those things, and then we have to move forward. So it is one of the most important watermark for all of us, that we have to move forward. We should forget all these kinds of divisions and other things.
All right, Dr. K.K. Mohammed, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Shifting focus now to someone whose recent song or bhajan about Lord Ram has gone viral. Hansraj Raghuvanshi is joining us. His bhajan was in fact shared by Prime Minister Modi as well. हंसराज रघुवंशी, थैंक यू सो मच। मेरा सवाल सबसे पहले ये होगा आपसे कि कब लिखना शुरू किया आपने और कितने समय लगा?
इसको हमने अभी कुछ 2-3 हफ्ते पहले ही मैंने लिखा नहीं है, मैंने कंपोज किया है, मैंने गाया है, परंतु लिखने वाले रवि चोपड़ा जी हैं। और हमने बस जैसे मैं अपने जितने भी भजन बनाता हूँ भोलेनाथ जी के, वैसे हमने राम जी का भी भजन बनाया। और मेरी पूरी दिली इच्छा थी कि मैंने अभी तक जैसे मेरे नाम के आगे हंसराज रघुवंशी लगता है, तो रघुवंशी जी के लिए मैंने कोई गाना नहीं गाया था, कोई भजन नहीं गाया था। तो मैंने कोशिश करी और अपनी पूरी टीम, हमारी टीम में जिसने म्यूजिक दिया है और लिखने वाले जितने भी थे और वीडियो पूरी टीम, तो हमने पूरी ईमानदारी के साथ श्री राम जी के चरणों में अपना भजन समर्पित किया। और मेरे चाहने वालों ने ढेर सारा प्यार दिया। और हम जितने भी मेरे गाने रहते हैं उन पे किसी भी प्रकार का ऐड नहीं रहता, वो पूरा ऑर्गेनिक रहता है मेरा चैनल, मेरा हंसराज रघुवंशी जो यूट्यूब चैनल है। तो उस पर मेरे चाहने वालों ने इतना प्यार दिया कि वो बहुत ज़्यादा लोग सुन रहे हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार स्नेह मिल रहा है। श्री रामचंद्र जी की पूरा प्यार, पूरा आशीर्वाद मिला। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आज सुबह शेयर किया, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि मेरे लिए तो सौभाग्य की बात है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी मतलब शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो मेरे लिए तो बहुत प्राउड की बात है।
आप सिंगर कंपोजर हैं, क्या ये भजन गाना सबसे यूनिक था? पहले भी आपने शिव भजन गाए हैं?
मैं भोलेनाथ जी के ऊपर गाने गाता हूँ, राधा कृष्ण पे गाता हूँ, खाटू श्याम पे गाता हूँ, श्री राम भगवान जी के ऊपर गाया, क्योंकि भगवान तो एक ही है बस। और मतलब मैं मैक्सिमम गाने मेरे कंपोज किए हुए हैं, जैसे शिव समारे मुझ में मैं शून्य हो रहा हूँ, मेरा भोला है भंडारी, राधे राधे, गाने बहुत है, भजन बहुत है। और आज श्री राम जी का किया मैंने। इसमें मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि जो शुरू की लाइन है, अयोध्या आए मेरे राम बोलो जय श्री राम, वो हमने इंस्पायर होके, ये जो ट्रेडिशनल फोक है, राजस्थानी फोक है, जो पहली लाइन है वो, और आगे सारा कंपोजिशन मेरा है। हाँ,
इस गाने में क्या खास है कि ये वायरल हो गया है?
देखो, जैसे मैं एक राइटर हूँ, कंपोजर हूँ, तो हमारे लिए सारे गाने खास होते हैं, परंतु उसको खास ज्यादा बनाने वाले प्रभु है ना। इस गाने पे प्रभु जी का आशीर्वाद है, मेरे चाहने वालों का प्यार है, तो वो ज्यादा खास हो जाता है। मेरे लिए तो सारे खास है।
क्योंकि आप खुद युवा हैं और यूथ के लिए गाना गाते हैं, तो आज के ज़माने में युवा के लिए राम मंदिर का क्या मायने है?
देखो, मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि श्री राम जी का भजन आया हमारा, तो युवा ही इसको ज़्यादा देख रहे हैं, बुजुर्ग भी देख रहे हैं, सब देख रहे हैं। तो बड़ी खुशी होती है कि हमारा जो युवा है, पहले कम सुनते थे भजन सुनते थे, परंतु आजकल जो माहौल है, मतलब अब जय श्री राम जी आ रहे हैं, श्री रामचंद्र जी आ रहे हैं, तो हमारे प्रभु राम है, तो मतलब लोगों में जितने भी आपने बताया कि युवा में पूरा वो है, उत्साह है कि प्रभु रामचंद्र जी आ रहे हैं, तो हम में भी वैसा ही है। तो पूरे भारतवर्ष में होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे राजा महाराज श्री रामचंद्र। तो युवा में अपनी तरफ से युवाओं को बताना चाहूंगा कि आप अपने कार्य करिए, जो भी आप करते हैं अपने जीवन में। देखो, सारे कार्य धार्मिक नहीं हो सकते, अलग अलग फील्ड के हो सकते हैं, परंतु आप धार्मिक भी बनिए, क्योंकि अपनी संस्कृति से जुड़िए, अपने संस्कार पैदा, मतलब अपने माँ बाप ही पैदा करवाएंगे बच्चों में, जो भी आगे होंगे। तो अगर भजन अपने बच्चों को सुनाएंगे, मेरे नहीं, मैं नहीं बोल कि मेरे सुनिए, सबके, बहुत सारे ढेर सारे हमारे कलाकार हैं जो भजन गाते हैं, सबको सुनिए, तो इससे एक पॉजिटिविटी आएगी भगवान के प्रति, और भगवान भी आपका अच्छा कल्याण करेंगे।
मेरा आखिरी सवाल ये होगा कि कुछ आप हमारे दर्शकों के लिए गाकर सुना सकते हैं?
युग राम राज का आ गया, शुभ दिन ये आज का आ गया, हुई जीत सनातन धर्म की, घर घर भगवा लहरा गया, जागा है अवध का भाग जी, गूंजा है विजय का राग जी। योगी संतों की अखियों से छलका है प्रेम अनुराग जी। सज धज के ओ सज धज के लागे सबसे न्यारे राम। बोलो जय जय श्री राम।